love that curling is a team sport, that we're able to travel the world with friends and family and experience the journey with fans as well. The sport demands so much, whether it's fine motor skills or both physically and mentally taxing. And it's just a fun social sport that you're able to kind of make an extended family all over the world.
Everest is here to support you in the moments that matter. Learn how at Everest Funeral.
Good morning from beautiful British Columbia. I'm Brent Lang coming to you from the Everest Senior Curling Championships. We're one day closer to crowning 2 Canadian champions here in Vernon, British Columbia. And we've got a big game today. The surging Northwest Territories playing against Team Ontario on the ladies' side of the draw. Northwest Territories 5-3, but they came into the championship round 3-3, so have upped their game, won the first to beat Nova Scotia and Quebec. And here they are only sitting one game back of a playoff spot. Ontario at 6-2 happens to be in a playoff spot at the moment. So if Northwest Territories could win this game, they'll bring Ontario back to the pack and be sitting at least tied for a playoff spot. It's tightening up on both the men's and ladies' side in terms of who's going to make the playoffs. Still a lot to be decided, but Team Ontario skip Susan Froud won the draw to the button for the hammer before the game started, and Northwest Territories decided, let's get after it. Kelly Kalo, they're going to throw the center guard through a good one. And the answer from Susan Froud and Team Ontario is Julie McMullen. Let's throw one to the wing here. Kind of keep play away from the center guard to start, potentially. We'll see how Northwest Territories deals with that. But they're sweeping this one right away. This one's curling. May run out of rings over here. Want this one in the paint. Really curling away from the round rings. Wish they were square on this one. Going to come up short. Not bad corner guard, but probably just got that one curling a little earlier than they wanted to, and that's why it ran out of speed. So, as I mentioned, Kelly Kalo throwing lead rocks for this Yellowknife Curling Center team. She's been to the Scotties 5 times, 2 mixed nationals, 2 seniors. She retired from curling in 2005. And her skip, Sharon Cormier, enticed her to come back to return to this team. And now they're having a lot of success here. When asked something interesting about this team, all 5 ladies said, we just really enjoy each other's company, love to compete together, love to meet people from around the country, and love to represent our great territory, Northwest Territories. So pretty cool when you can find a team that gets along that well. It's not as common as you may think. Lead Julie McMullen, professor at Western University, I believe. Yeah, professor of sociology at Western University in London, and a board member for the Sandra Schmirler Foundation. So thank you for your your effort on a charity in curling that is so close to the game and to so many people's hearts, and does so much great work in the curling community and neonatal care. Sandra's legacy lives on in many, many ways. So hit and stay, and I think this Ontario team just wants to kind of get comfortable here, read the ice in the first end. I'd be interested to see what happens if they do roll out here. This is Marta Moyer throwing the intern hit, trying to make it curl a little bit, but this is going to come up, I think. I think she's going to stick. Good sweeping, good throw, and see what Ontario would do if they roll out. Ontario second, Kristen Turcotte. I got to say, she's got the best curling resume on the ice today, I think. Not in terms of quantity, but quality. Winning the 1990 Scotties Tournament of Hearts, playing third for Allison Goring. And then going on, I think, to bronze medal at the World Championship. She's won the Ontario Mix 5 times, runner-up in the Canadians with Bob Turcotte, a legend from Ontario, also happens to be Kristen's husband. Longtime coach in the game, Coach Sherry Madaw. Bob Turcotte's a name that's synonymous with curling in Ontario. Fierce competitor, great guy off the ice, good golfer too, I understand. Never played golf with Bob, but doesn't surprise me with his competitive spirit and his determination. Marta looking close to the roll here. This one's a little bit lighter, so getting a little extra curl. Will it stay in the rings? I think so. And a good start to this game. Lots of shots being made. Hits and stays. We've seen some in the first end, especially in some of these games. We've seen some unforced errors, open misses. You can see technically both of these teams are sound. It's another good throw by Kristen, right on the money. This one gonna roll buried, maybe. I don't know if that looks good, but probably gonna have Northwest Territories switch gears now and throw the draw. So might be good, might be bad. Too early to tell. The old story of the Chinese farmer, right? I don't have time to tell that one on the air. If you don't know it, you can Google it. I'm sure it will come up. So that's a good roll if they get a mistake here. It's not a good roll if they don't get a mistake necessarily, but you never know. First look at Cheryl Tordoff. She's been to 7 Canadian Senior Championships, 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. That's a nice streak. Best curling moment was the first time they won the Northwest Territories Nationals to go. She's overthrown this one. Going to slide by. The line was good if she had the right weight. The extra weight causes it to run straighter and will slip through the rings. And now a big opportunity for Ontario third and Carrie Lackey here. See if she can get one in there. Full forefoot, dead buried, and really put some pressure on Cheryl Tordoff in her next shot. Julie and Kristen jumped on that one right away. I'm not sure if it was tight or just they think it's light. Line looks okay. Definitely going to curl enough. Ice has just been fantastic this week. Just sweeping this one for speed at this point because line is really good. This one's read well right out of the hand, picked up right away, and swept end to end to get a biter. Again, too early to tell if that's good or bad. If this shot is made, that yellow one's actually in the way. This is a good opportunity for a steal for Northwest Territories. But this shot has to be made and made well. We'll see if Cheryl can make the adjustment, same line, and just take 10, 12 feet of weight off. Give Kelly and Marta a chance to sweep this one into where they want it. This one's very tight for line. This one's going to be on the top, I think, unless she's heavy. They're trying to hold it straight. Will they get it by? It's going to be a beauty if they get it by, but I think we're going to wreck here. Just a little bit of an over adjustment, and that one's over curled. Two good throws there line-wise for Cheryl, but unfortunately couldn't match the weight, so didn't get it to the right spot. And still a good opportunity for Ontario. Drawing to lie 3 buried, but this has to be right in the forefoot. Anything kind of top 12, top 8, half buried, and you'll see Sharon Cormier probably throw the in-turn draw around everything to the back one and just eliminate all of the yellow counters. Sweeping this one for line more than weight, I think. Doesn't look like the sweepers love it. Never mind, we're sweeping it for both, and not a good result there. You can see the triple staggered guards. Now, if I could draw you a picture of where this should end up, if this ends up right top button, right behind the blue one that's short of the rings, the tighter blue one, what does Ontario do? I think they're going to have to play some kind of setup shot. There won't be any great peel to open it up. I guess they could play the center guard, the higher one, into the yellow, into the blue, into the yellow, and try and split those up. But I think because you have 2 in the rings, you might just want to play a freeze. Sharon's going to switch turns. Might just be a personal preference. I'm not sure. They've seen that other one. Maybe she's seen it miss too many times this end and thinks that's just too unpredictable. I'm not sure. But the turn doesn't matter. However, you can get it to the same spot. If she goes right to the back one, she'd be okay with that. That will eliminate the 2 counters, at least momentarily. Sharon Cormier has the longest resume on the ice, I got to say. 13 Scotties appearances. No stranger to our national championship. 6 seniors, a mixed, and 2 juniors. So been winning for a long time. Will this get by? Oh, what a shot here. Over curl. Needs to stop. Will stay for shot rock. And you see that one is not removable at the moment. I'd love to come down and bump it, but it's just so buried. So Susan's going to have to make this this skips deuce, as we call it. Susan from the Alliston Curling Club was instrumental in helping get Team Jones ready for the Beijing Olympics through the crazy times of COVID. They were the only place that kept the ice open, and had some great ice too. So great facility for Jen and team to practice on. I was fortunate if I got to throw some rocks through that as well. And Susan said she's still on the board because they can't find a replacement. I think it's probably because she does too good a job. I'll just mention to her, if you don't do such a good job, they tend to replace you faster, but I don't think that's in Susan's DNA.
No, I don't think so either, Brent. She's very hardworking.
This one's tight. Big trouble here. Don't think this one's going to get by, Jen.
No, it's not. They didn't sweep it early. I think they liked the line. Maybe a little bit of a misread. The weight was fairly close, probably a little bit light though, and not in a terrible spot, but if come around is made here, it's going to be a very difficult tap for Susan Froud.
What do you think Ontario would play right now if, say, this came up short of the rings? Like if they didn't shoot here, what would Ontario play? I think they play the draw for the 1, or would they play the run back for 3 or 4?
I don't think they'll play that runner.
Oh, come on. First
Maybe.
end.
I think it's worth the risk for sure. You're asking what I think they will do.
Yeah, which is not an easy question to answer, because how would you have any idea what they're going to do? But Sharon was not going to miss the rings here either, I don't think. So it's probably a moot point. Although it is curling like crazy out here. This one is going to wreck. And we're going to find out what she's going to do, Jen.
Yes, we are. Oh,
Us people from Ontario like to be
she
aggressive.
indicated she's thrown the hit.
I like it.
Oh, you're talking to me about aggressive.
Mrs. Aggressive herself's thinking they're going to draw. Come on, Jen. Oh, 2/3 here. And if you threw it light enough, you could score 4. I think it's probably easier throwing it a little heavier. Try and stick it there and hope your shooter hangs on. But even if it rolls out, if you get 3 here, if you get 2 here, even if you score 1.
And this is just as hard as the tap. She could just throw the out-turn draw.
That's really the only other option. So here we go. Big shot in the first end. Susan Froud, in-turn run back for multiple points. Here it comes. Jumping on it right away, thinking it's a little bit tight. It is.
Leaning too. You can see the line call.
This is going to overcurl. This is going to be a steal for Northwest Territories. Good effort from Susan Froud and Team Ontario, but nonetheless, a steal of 1 for Northwest Territories and a 1-0 lead when we come back after a quick break.
At every OK Tire store, you'll find a local owner who lives in your community, proudly offering full auto service. And when you shop with us, you're shopping local. OK Tire. Service, repair, and tires. It's going to be okay.
I love that curling is a team sport, that we're able to travel the world with friends and family and experience the journey with fans as well. The sport demands so much, whether it's fine motor skills or both physically and mentally taxing. And it's just a fun social sport that you're able to kind of make an extended family all over the world.
Everest is here to support you in the moments that matter. Learn how at everestfuneral.ca.
Welcome back to the Everest Canadian Senior Curling Championships. I'm Brent Lang, joined by Jennifer Jones, and we are coming to you from Vernon, British Columbia, where we've seen some fantastic curling action so far this week. Maybe the game of the week so far was last night. Dave Bomer and Team BC handing Team Saskatchewan their first loss of the week, but the way they did it in dramatic fashion, lots of craziness there. They get down 5-0 early and win the game 7-5 with some incredible shot making, especially by Dave Bomer himself. But today we're covering the Northwest Territories versus Ontario game. Both of these teams in a hunt for a playoff spot. Ontario at 6-2 and Northwest Territories at 5-3. If Northwest Territories were to lose this game, depending on what else happens, that would put them probably on the outside looking in for the playoffs. Only 4 of the final 8 make the playoffs. 2 semifinals tomorrow morning. I think at 8:30, Jen. I thought we've signed a contract that we don't do morning games.
I think it is early tomorrow, but it's playoff action, so we don't mind getting up. And I just want to do one correction just so people don't get upset. I think you said Dave Bomer from BC, but got to give those Bison guys the Team Manitoba.
The Night Train's from Manitoba, always has been. He's the Buffalo.
He is the Buffalo. What a game that was, Brent. You and I were talking about it for hours after it was over. It's just phenomenal.
We saw Dave and the guys in the Everest suite after the game, and they were certainly grinning. And even I saw them again this morning, and they were saying a couple of friends were watching the game and loved to be able to watch it. Even said we were decent commentators, Jen, so that's nice to hear.
That's awesome.
I mean, we knew you were good, but a little rub there. And again, early advantage Ontario. On the men's side, we've got a couple of teams. Newfoundland is unfortunately at 5 losses, 3-5. They've lost their first 2 coming into the championship pool, and that will put them too far back to catch a playoff spot. But that is the only team eliminated so far. PEI in trouble at 4-4 would need some serious help. They play New Brunswick and Manitoba, but looking very unlikely. There's 2 teams that are already in, I think, at 7-1. Nova Scotia and Saskatchewan, not officially, but they do play, so one of them's definitely in. That's the final game tonight, I believe, that we're going to be covering. And a good start there again by Julie McMullen. So looking for the hit and roll. That yellow one, if you're Team Ontario, that's behind the guard, you wish it was in the forefoot or quite a bit deeper, because it does act as a guard potentially later in the end. This one here, we're going to get, Marta's going to try and hit and roll over there behind. If she can roll right over to center line, try and bring the play back to the center. This is close, but needs to curl. Just overswept a little bit, but. So if you're Ontario, do you roll behind the center here, Jen, or what do you do? Maybe way across?
I would like rolling way across, I think, so that any roll back would be behind the tee line.
Yeah, that's probably if you could pick. Hit and stay first. Even if it rolled behind the center, not terrible this early in the end. I don't think they're going to draw. They're probably going to play the run back. Kristen looked like she got that one a little bit inside, and this is big trouble, I think. Just an overextension, and got it. You can see her even motioning there. Got that one going. Not a good feeling. The old silent hit. First rule of a takeout, Jen? You got to take something out.
Take it out.
So now the momentum switches, and Northwest Territories has a chance to be the first around this guard, but looks like Marta might be a little heavy and wide here. Will they play a tap or a split instead? Sweeping it to try and split it, I think. Don't want to really leave a double here. Didn't really leave a double. Not what they were looking for, but line two. Let's watch if Kristen makes this adjustment. She threw two great hits in the first end. Kind of clean the whole way down, so. It's not too far back, but pretty close. This might be in between the double and the hit and roll. No, she's going to make the double. Accidentally sneaky perfect, and we're back to where we were before she flashed. That is not what the call was, but a heads-up line call.
Sometimes for a line call, it's just trying to make the best of what you got. It's not about trying to make the shot all the time. Making those plan Bs, plan Cs, even plan Ds.
Stay on your toes out there. You never know what's coming at you. I'm going to sweep this one to curl. I want to stay in the rings. I think they're going to get it over there enough and rolling for shot. Almost roll buried here. Keep it rolling. Oh, good shot there. Great effort on the hit and roll there for Cheryl Tordoff. Now Carrie and Susan just discussing what's the best weight to throw here. We want to hit and stay. We want to make sure this one goes away. Looks good here. Sweeping it, trying to roll away. Good looking shot. Not going to roll super far, but yeah, this looks pretty good. And Ontario lies two again.
Those soft weight hits, Bren, are very important. And we've seen a lot of teams throw that really up weight on their takeouts, but Team Ontario seems to have a nice quiet takeout weight.
Yeah, a lot of teams, I think the reason that a lot of teams lean towards more weight is they don't like to have to throw it off the rock and wait for the curl and have to match the line to weight. The more comfortable you get, the more technically sound you get, the easier it becomes to trust your slide lines and your release and your weight control. And the lighter you throw this, I'm really trying to get this one to curl. Cheryl got this one well outside, and I don't think this is going to take anything out. And an unforced error and a big opportunity for Ontario. Are they going to split the rings? I don't know if you want to bump that one back. I could see. What do you like here, John? I think you draw open side. Bump this one. You don't want anything to end up behind the tee line, especially behind the guard behind the tee line. This one, if you make a good straight bump, you're going to leave a double and a roll. If you go open side,
I do think you draw open side, yeah. And just hopefully the roll isn't made.
Yeah, that's what she's worried about, right? Leaving that hit and roll, but this doesn't take the hit and roll away.
If your Northwest Territories in a must-win game, I don't know if you might have to throw a draw here or freeze, depending on where this ends up.
There's that aggressive Jenny Jones we all know.
Solve your problems with a draw, but I think there's going to be a double takeout opportunity. That's got to stick around, and it does.
If you're going to play the bump,
this double, Brent.
Yeah, if you're going to play the bump, that's as good as you can make it. With lots of separation. No double and roll, I don't think, unless you throw out an absolute bullet, and I don't think that's in Sharon's repertoire. So play the double probably. If it does come up and you make the roll, that might be a better result. It does look like a tempting draw, though, doesn't it, Jen?
It sure does. I like this, though. I was thinking if you couldn't really make a roll. There's two options here. You make the double, or if it overcurls a little bit, you might get that roll. But a big shot, and even if you do give up 3, you're only down 2. Game's still within reach. This just needs to curl a little bit. Oh, it's curling. Now it needs to be straight. Oh, so close. Just not a lot of weight on that, Brent.
Just needed to curl a quarter inch more and just tick the back one. But yeah, that was just kind of heavy hack, maybe board weight. Well thrown. Susan has to worry about the jam now. Wants to hit and roll broom side. If she could, she'd want to hit and roll wide as possible and still be a biter. Make the hit and roll back behind the center as long as possible. Avoid the jam. And that would set up more than likely a shot for 3. I don't think Sharon and Team NWT, I don't think they're going to take on that draw. Sounds like they like the throw. Not a lot of panic yet. Needs to sit. Will it hold on? It doesn't quite hold on. And do you play the draw now, Jen? Or do you hit the back one?
I think you hit the back one, Brent.
Playing with house money now. She rolled out. You were giving up 3, and now you got a chance to steal. This is probably the right call. If you can nose it, it's not the easiest hit and stay back there either for 2. You can't, not much room to roll for Team Ontario. See if she sticks with that light takeout weight, just kind of board weight on her last one. Trying to hold this one. This one's rolling low. I don't know if it's going to hold on.
Needs to stay. And it does not. So this will be an open draw for 2 for Susan Froud and Team Ontario.
These are the kind of shots for 2 that the skip signs up for, right? You know, the skip always jokes, I need you guys to play good enough so that I just got to throw guards and draw the rings and hit and stay. That's never the case, though, at least not for my skips. Julie looked like she put her hand up as in doesn't need any help. Kristen wants to clean it, but is afraid to. And look at the concern on Susan's face.
Susan knows. She's hoping it's going to stop. It looks like it will. I don't know. They're going to really have to work on this to get this out the back door.
Just hangs on. No problem. 2 points for Ontario and a 2-1 lead. We'll be right back to the Everest Senior Curling Championships after this break.
Curling means so much to our family. Obviously, it's a big part of our life. Isabella always says that she wants to be an Olympic champion curler when she grows up, which just melts my heart. But it also has shown them that if you work hard, anything is possible. If I was to ask them if they wanted to chase a dream, they believe that anything is possible as long as they put the work in, and it's because of watching us on the ice.
Everest is here to support you in the moments that matter. Learn how at everestfuneral.ca.
Welcome back to the Everest Funeral Concierge Canadian Senior Curling Championships. Brent Lang and Jennifer Jones here to bring you the action. And a solid second end for Team Ontario and a 2-1 lead. And Julie McMullen knows where the button is. She's been playing extremely well so far, setting Ontario up each end. Love to see it here. Northwest Territories is going to throw a corner guard and try and get that score of 2 back. Looks pretty good. Ladies are just dusting it in there. Want this to stop about a broom length short of the rings. There's a good corner guard depth when the ice is curling this much. And I think Susan will ask Julie to throw the tight guard on this one. It is right on the button. I don't see why not. There it is. So we'll have 2 more draws streamed today and then 3 more tomorrow. Championship, am I right? Championship Saturday tomorrow.
You are. Very exciting day. We'll know who the next Canadian champion is.
So I think we've got 4 semifinal games in the morning. And then we have, I'll have to look it up. We have the final and the bronze medal for either the ladies or the men midday. And then the finals and the bronze medal game for the others, whether it's the ladies or the men, in the afternoon. So busy day for us. We got to talk to our agent there, Stuart Brown, and see, first of all, how we're doing a morning game. So it is the men's gold medal game first, and then in the afternoon, we've got the ladies' gold and bronze medal game. So that guard slipping into the rings is going to allow Northwest Territories to throw the takeout. And I think if they dead nose it, they are in the rings. But a good shot there, the corner guard, and a good setup here for Northwest Territories.
Yeah, for sure it is. And even with rolling there and the fact that Susan's hitting it, they're going to have to roll open, and it will open up your corner guard. You can draw around it and definitely get second shot. And shot rock should be exposed, or it will be removed from play, because it's the only way to make this takeout. And I think this is going to roll out, Brent, if it even just enough.
So we'd like to see them go around the corner guard here, wouldn't we, Jen? That's why we threw it.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go.
Hit and roll, I think she called. I think this was the hit, which is fine. Trying to keep the blank alive. Could be a even odd end situation. I don't think that stuff enters your mind or my mind as much as it does for some, but
no, you just kind of I've hurled for a long time before we even looked at that kind of stuff. But look at this though, Brent. Thought it might roll right behind the guard, but if it stays, what a great shot.
That is a great shot.
We would just kind of play and just get a sense of how the game was going, whether you really had to push it or if you could take a break. You could kind of get a feel for it out there. I don't know how else to describe it. And I still play that way.
Well, I think that makes some sense. The analytics is becoming a big part of our game and something to consider in certain situations. Some teams live and die by it right from the opening rock, and that's fine. You got to find what works for you. I'm with you, Jen. This is going to wreck. This might chip it in the rings.
I think it's got enough speed. So now, can Northwest Territories hold their deuce? Do you split the house and try to hold it for 5 rocks?
I kind of like a corner guard here, but this is fine too. Again, knowing that you're probably okay with the blank. And tomorrow's game time, so it is semifinals. 2 men's semis, 2 women's semis at 8:30 local time, so 11:30 Eastern. 12:30 will be the gold medal game for the men and the bronze medal game for the men. And then 3:30 local time, we've got the women's gold medal game and the women's bronze medal game. And then we got to turn it around quick and clean ourselves up for the 7 o'clock victory banquet, because at Everest events, everybody's a winner, baby. We're going to celebrate an incredible week and celebrate whomever becomes Team Canada. Wish them well at the World Championships in Östersund, Sweden in April of 2024. What an exciting opportunity that will be for one ladies team and one men's team. So this is a textbook setup for 2 points, but it is early, still 4 more shots each to come. So lots can still happen here. Jen, where have been some of your favorite places to compete?
Japan would be right up there for sure. Just the atmosphere. They just love curling. Is that going to stick around for shots? It does. I'd still play a freeze here, though, Brent. Those are always hard to stay. Just play a freeze. Yep, there you go. Right there. Japan for sure. Love playing in Japan. Obviously anywhere in Canada, because there's nothing like being a hometown team if you're at a world championship. We played here in Vernon for a world championship. It was incredible. North Bay, unbelievable. It's just so great to be back here in Vernon. So many great memories for me. And I love Switzerland, but more the country is just incredible. What about you, Brent?
Now you're just bragging. I was supposed to be a one-word answer, man. You've been a lot of places. Well, for me, you mentioned Switzerland. That's always going to be special. I've been fortunate. 2 of the World Championship wins were in the same building for me in 2012 and 2016, which is kind of strange, but Basel, Switzerland. I think it was in Basel. Am I right? Yeah.
That was a nice shot there from the Northwest Territories. It didn't get frozen, Brent, but that's a very hard hit and stay without touching that yellow.
For sure. And even if they do make it, there's probably going to be a double, but I like the freeze call there. Yeah, we got to play in the World Championships in an arena where the Swiss WTP, the tennis, where Federer plays most years, and it's a pretty cool setup and building, and it's always more fun when you win, let's be honest. This one's curling a bit, but close.
I don't know,
Brent.
This is
the
curling.
Back for sure. Will it
roll out? Nope.
Actually, a really good shot now, rolling over towards the other one, setting up probably a double. But Northwest Territories wants to hit and roll back to the broom side, just like Sharon's showing us there. And there will be no double. We got to go to Japan as well. We were there with Team Jones. That was my first time in Japan. The Karazawa event was phenomenal. That's where we got to stage for the Olympics before we went to Korea as well. And like you said, the people are fantastic. It's a beautiful country. But just for the curling, you can't beat Canada. You can't beat, especially, I'm going to get, well, this one's over curling, going to hit and roll out. I'm going to get some flack for this, but you can't beat playing in, probably Saskatchewan is kind of the hotbed right now in terms of having people come out and support it. You know, we're in Saskatoon next week for a Grand Slam, and I'm going to predict that it's going to be pretty full, more full than most. And
Niagara Falls, Brent did a fabulous job at the slam we were just at. Lots of people. It felt like such a great atmosphere. North Bay in Ontario,
they always
another
do a
hotbed.
fantastic job. Yep.
Sudbury, when we were there for the Canadian mixed
Wasn't that
doubles
great?
last year, fabulous. So
Still
lots of great, but Saskatchewan, yes, for sure. Without question, you know that there's going to be people in the stands.
So we're looking at a blank end here now in all likelihood, or at least an attempted blank.
And they held that 2 points for a long time, Northwest Territories did, but that hit and roll out, I don't think Sharon's going to be able to get that out. Spinning. No, it sticks around.
Be nice to hit and stay here for Sharon, because then it's a tougher hit and stay for Susan Froud and Team Ontario. But also, even if she does, you got shorter distance to roll out. If you roll out here, I think a lot of times, you know, Susan's going to draw somewhere in the forefoot, and you're going to have a much longer roll, a much tougher blank. Trying to hold the line on this one.
Need to sweep it.
Not sure this one's going to stick around. It's not going to stick
quiet weight
around.
has so much finish, and when the rock is so much farther back in the house, it has all that extra time to curl.
So Susan's just going to try and draw to a spot that maybe she wants to see the ice and see what it does here, or it could be that she thinks she wants to try and force a turn, one turn or the other of her opponent, or there's a tricky spot in the ice that may be straight or maybe curly that might force a miss. But all that to say, just hit the rings and make them make the shot, because there's nowhere to hide. And walking beside it again, the old slow shuffle, trying to slow that thing down. Susan's draw for two barely hung on.
That's got some speed to it, Brent. She might have the same weight as she did for a draw, the draw for two. She does.
Just waiting for the ice to slow down. There's two options. You can adjust your draw weight or wait for it to slow down. So Sharon will want to roll out here, but contact is key, as they say. You can't go so hard for the blank that you totally miss it. If they were forced to one here, I don't think they would be super upset. Looks like she's gonna hang on and gonna be forced to one there, but not a big deal. No real harm done there. We've got a tie game, folks. A tight check-in battle, 2-2 between Northwest Territories and Ontario. We'll be right back to the Everest Senior Curling Championships here from Vernon, British Columbia. Welcome back, folks. Hopefully you're enjoying the action so far here from Vernon. We've had a lot of great games, a lot of great action. It's only going to get better as we move towards Championship Saturday tomorrow, starting at 8:30 local time. Jen just told me that I can sleep in and she's going to do the morning game. I appreciate that, Jen.
Always here for you.
Huh. Let's see if we can get some update scores. A lot of action going on across the rink, obviously. Some big games, all of them having playoff implications at this point. We've got New Brunswick and PEI on the men's side. New Brunswick needs a win there to stay alive. PEI, dire straits at 4 losses. If they lose, they're definitely out. But big battle, BC at 6-2 and Nova Scotia at 7-1. And BC's up 1-0 on Nova Scotia playing the third end. Saskatchewan trying to right the ship after what can only be described as a heartbreaking loss. See how they rebound. But it is 2-0 Saskatchewan over Quebec. Quebec got absolutely thumped last night. Newfoundland and Labrador up 2-1 on Manitoba, trying to play spoiler because Newfoundland and Labrador is already out. This one is finding the hole, finding the uprights, as they say sometimes. A unforced error there and a chance for Ontario to go around the center guard now if they want, or open side. They do have the hammer. Those are probably the two options. On the ladies' side, Manitoba and Alberta, it's 1-0 Manitoba playing the third end. 2-2 NWT and Ontario, obviously on our sheet. Saskatchewan 2-0 over Quebec. Saskatchewan 7-1, Quebec 5-3. And then we've got British Columbia and Nova Scotia, BC up 2-1. So a bunch of close games so far this morning, Jen.
There are, and we're hitting the nail-biting time as all of these teams are trying to qualify for that, those all wanting that playoff berth. Now for the Northwest Territories here, you need to hit and you need to stay. Ideally, you'd roll behind that center guarder all the way over to that other yellow stone to create a double opportunity. But you need to hit and stay. This is looking fairly good, Brent. Just needs to curl a little bit.
Gonna stick around.
No, right on the nose, and it will be second shot. Ontario still lies 1.
It's been a pretty well-played game, Jen, but we haven't had any real crazy situations yet. Normally by now, you've at least had one end or half an end where there's been a pile up of rocks in the middle. I guess the first end we had that a little bit with a couple of missed draws light and hooking some guards around the center line. Every other end has kind of been the team with the hammer trying to spread out the deuce and hold on. And that's what we've got here too. Keep an eye on that center guard though. See if that comes into play at some point. Well played. Kristen Turcott hit and stay. So now Marta trying to roll behind the center guard. I don't think it'll be necessarily shot rock, but it will catch Ontario's attention. Anytime you get kind of double center guards, which will be exactly what they end up with more or less. Or the long roll right across to the other one is the other option here.
Yeah, just somewhere where they can have a double opportunity at some point so you don't give up 2 points.
This one needs to curl to even make some contact. Just going to tick it. I just needed to be harder, and she would have made the double, Jen.
She would have.
Okay, so Ontario's going to switch gears now. Earlier in the end, they had a chance to go around the center, but their second shot rock was close to the center guard, and now that it's way out to the side, she's going to change gears and go around the center guard. I think this is a good call, Jen. You don't go open. Eventually, somebody's going to make the roll, and if it's not you, they're going to take your deuce away. So
I like this. I think you're going to see the territories, though, have to draw.
If this is made right, I agree with you, but this one, they're looking back ring, so want this to curl out from under the guard, I think, if you're behind the tee line. Which it does. So if that stayed buried, then Northwest Territories would have definitely drawn. But because it's open, I think they're going to hit and roll and try and still group them and make a double and get out of here somehow. So speaking of the slam next week in Saskatoon, Colton Flash was telling me, and I haven't confirmed this, but I'm sure Colton's not lying to me, that Saskatoon has the record for most well-attended Grand Slams. That's got to be in modern history, because at one point in time, a slam in the MTS Center, we had 10,000 people a draw.
Brent, this has got to stay. They got to get a piece and
get out.
Just.
Oof.
Went a little bit more and they make the double, but I think they're happy to make one of those go away.
So I don't know why
Saskatoon events are always well attended.
Right? I like going around the center guard here again. I mean, this is fine. Nothing wrong with it. There's always options in curling. There's very rarely is there a right or wrong, and one where I'd want to lay down on the ice in front of the skip and say, I just can't let you play this shot. But every now and again, it happens where the skip or somebody wants something and the rest of the team says, that's just crazy talk. Some teams are democracy and some teams aren't. There's been successful versions of both. Good shot there. There is a double.
I would have left that a little bit higher in the house, Brent.
Yeah, if you're going to split the rings, I agree, Jen. Maybe still worried about the hit and roll behind the center, but there's a double here. If this over curls, there's a hit and roll frozen. You could hit and roll behind the center guard for shot. Hit and roll towards the middle, and lots of good things can happen.
She just threw it.
Probably going to guard a little wider this time because she over curled and almost flashed. Trying to make this one curl. Going to stick around and rolling a little bit middle way. So rolling in for shot. Rolling this one buried. Pretty good. That rolls another rock. I think you'd see Sharon freeze. But because it's open, I think she'll try the hit. The double is possible, but you sure do have to get close to that center guard, and she doesn't want to risk wrecking, but a tough shot here coming up for Sharon.
This is looking pretty good. Need to get this by, though, Brent. Oh, just by, and they might even get inside. No, they don't, but they rolled to a pretty good spot. It's going to be difficult for Ontario to remove this stone without jamming. Nice shot. So for Susan Froud here, she's just going to throw a quiet weight takeout to try to hit only half this stone and roll. Good news for Northwest Territories is with the roll, there should be some kind of double. And just a little bit thin on that, and it will kill it from the rings, but does not stick around. But that Yellowstone is buried. I think you're going to see a freeze attempt from Northwest Territories. As long as you're fairly close to that Yellowstone with decent line, it should be just a force Susan Froud and Team Ontario to follow you down. They're working on this stone. It needs to curl. It needs to have a little bit more weight. They got to drag it. They got to keep dragging it. And I don't know if that's going to be enough. That is very accessible for Ontario to get their 2 points. And Susan Froud just threw this shot. So Susan did make a correction. She needed to get a little bit more inside. She was wide on her last one, and they need to get this by, and I think they do. And that will be a score of 2, a big score of 2 for Team Ontario. And they will take a 2-point lead heading to the 4th end break.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
At every OK Tire store, you'll find a local owner who lives in your community, proudly offering full auto service. And when you shop with us, you're shopping local. OK Tire. Service, repair, and tires. It's going to be okay.
Welcome back to the Everest Canadian Curling Championships. I am Jennifer Jones and I'm joined by Brent Lang. We are in championship round action here with Northwest Territories taking on Team Ontario. And it really is a must-win game for the team from the Northwest Territories. And they trail by 2 points after 4, but still lots of game left. Lots of great shots being made out here today. I would think, though, that the Northwest Territories will take some chances here, throw some guards. And Ontario seems to like it simple. I would think they're going to play a lot of shots in the house. Very well placed. And as predicted, the guard will go up. A nice guard from the Territories. Kind of the start of most ends, and then you just see exactly how it happens after that. So with that nice guard from Ontario, you're going to see a freeze from Northwest Territories. They want to get right to the face of this stone. With the hand motion, I think they think it's heavy. And this is fine, even if you get to the inside. So you're behind that guard. Oh, and it just rolls off. So close to perfect, and unfortunately, an opportunity here for Ontario to lie too. Well done, and it rolled right behind that guard, which is okay for Territories. I still like this freeze. Or tap it back. Just a little heavy on the last one. Trying to get it right locked on that stone, and I think this is a little bit wide. We're trying to make it curl. And I did ask for the tap back. I think this might be just a little bit strong. They just wanted back 4 weight, and I think that's going to leave the back of the house, unfortunately.
So Northwest Territories in some trouble here. Looks like maybe Ontario's going to return the favor though, Jen. This one looks to be, the line tells me it's quite heavy.
Yeah, I think that's going to go through the back of the house, Brent.
That could have been anywhere short, right? I mean, if that's a guard, it's a good shot. Anywhere top rings. It's taking the camaraderie and the sportsmanship of the game a little too far. We'll see if Marta can make the adjustment here. Just bump this back and roll underneath the guard. Freeze is fine, but it would be great to bump this back, as you said. No sweeping again. Is this spot getting really fast here, or this one's going to get to a corner of it?
Need to tap in the open, though. It will
Weight
not.
was close. So weight wasn't too far off there, and it tapped it buried, as you see. So do you even need to hit that if you're Ontario?
I would freeze.
If you do hit this, yeah, I agree with you, Jen. Northwest Territories is going to play the same shot, and if they do play the freeze bump, and then you're going to be forced to play around the center, and they're going to be shot already. At least now you're shot. 2-point lead, though, so it's easy to see the instinct of see a blue one, hit a blue one. This one's got a curl to catch a piece. I think it will, but just. Bit of a sloppy end coming together here, Jen. Miss after miss. Somebody's going to string a couple shots together, and if it's Northwest Territories, if they can make this freeze, you want to get shot rock. You want to bump it a little bit, but important not to overthrow it, as we've seen, obviously.
Need a shot here, though.
Sweepers are sweeping it like it's close. Needs to curl still. Really needs to curl here.
I think the line will get there, Brent, the way I've seen. This really cuts. They just need to have that weight. They got to get it there.
Have to be second shot at least, and man, that is close. Yikes. Susan motioning like Ontario's lying too, and late in the end, and now close to a great shot there by Cheryl, but just 3 feet light. And now Ontario throwing a guard with one on the button. Big trouble. All the other games are very close this morning, Jen. I don't know if people are tightening up and playing a little more defensively, or if they're just playing well. And on the ladies' side, BC, Nova Scotia 2-2. Saskatchewan up 2-1 on Quebec. Ontario 4-2 here, and Manitoba up 2-1 on Alberta. So tight checking games this morning. Carrie really, I don't think, wants this one swept. What do you think? Double arms in the air.
Yeah. I think, I don't know. You might have to try to play the intern freeze, or you're going to make the double here. That's a good call as well.
You hate playing double peels when you're down 2 points, but
you got to score.
Yeah, exactly. And quickly on the men's side, New Brunswick up 3-2 on Prince Edward Island. Nova Scotia, BC locked at 2, playing the 5th. Quebec down 3-1 to Saskatchewan, and Newfoundland and Labrador up 3-2 on Manitoba. That's a big one. Manitoba needs to pull that one out. This one's floating. Here it comes. This is close. Now it's really curling. This is a good shot. Hit it pretty well.
Quite well done, Grant. Got a little unlucky with where the other yellow spilled to.
Needed maybe a little bit more weight, or needed to hit it a little bit thicker. Ontario surely is still guarding here, you got to think. No, Carey doesn't believe Susan. So they like the guard here. I think that's a reasonable strategy call here. So the seeding pool has one more game, Jen. I believe we're going to commentate maybe the Battle of Ontario, your favorite battle from years gone by, right? Northern Ontario, the province of Northern Ontario versus the province of Ontario. Used to be a north-south party at the Briar way back in the day. Or after the game. I only ever got to go to one at the Calgary Curling Club in 2002. We won the game and then went, I think it was Tim Phillips, went to the curling club and had a few drinks and laughs and reminisced about all the past Briars. And so want this one dead in front of the blue on top 8. That's the rock that they're trying to guard here. This looks like maybe an audible.
Yeah, it looks a little bit heavy maybe, and they're trying to get it by.
Oh, wow. This is 15 feet heavy.
Wow, big opportunity now for Northwest Territories. They could make that hit and roll. I don't know. I guess they might not be able to get second shot, Brent.
Yeah, it actually didn't turn out that bad. Like, they're going to have to play the run back, or they just hit the yellow one and double those out. But I think you want to...
I don't think there could be shot rock.
No, there won't be. That's the problem, right? So how do you get shot rock? It's super hard. You have to make that double, like raise it into the crotch, just tick the top one, and then you're probably going to spin out over the top of the other one. But Sharon doesn't throw it super hard, so somewhere close to nose. You could play that shot you said, Jen, where you hit and roll your shooter low behind the corner guard, kill the one on the left as we're looking at the overhead, and roll right on top and leave it open. That would be a really good result. Yeah, Susan was trying to be 6 feet short of the house. That's 12 feet farther than she wanted.
You're looking at it. You could maybe potentially play a split on that blue, Brent, like third and fourth. That double in the middle is pretty makeable.
Yeah. Force Ontario, they're probably going to hit whichever one they can.
If they ever make a mistake, it's probably your best chance to make sure you score.
It's a tough situation. I mean, there is a shot where you could play the normal weight, out turn, hit it a shade on the right side as we're looking at it towards the house from the hack end. Ticks the first one, kills both those, and then spins over corner frozen on shot rock behind the corner guard. Not playing a lot of weight. I don't know. I think I'd want to clean this up. Anything soft in here could lead to a big steal. You like the split, Jen?
Yeah, I don't mind the split.
And I think Susan's going to hit whichever one she can. If she doesn't roll, you're right. There's a kind of a nose double. You're talking me into it a bit here. The shot needs to be made, however.
And a lot of precise hits so far in this game. Lots of hits and rolls out. You just want to make sure you have an opportunity to get access to those two in the middle. I'd probably throw the nose hit and try to roll. You could actually nose it and roll the third shot rock. That would be your best result. Almost make a triple.
Yeah, the fancy, the tick and roll corner frozen behind the corner guard, right?
Yeah, that's what I would play, but I don't mind this shot. But they have to sweep it.
Oh, they're curling it though. It needs to go straight to split it.
I think they lost it. Oh boy.
So
I think they were playing the straight tap back.
I
I'm
think
not
they
sure.
were, yeah, the little bump. Oh, if Ontario draws one in there, good night, Irene. Yeah, if they can get a rock right there, this is going to get, I don't know that you even want to move it, Carrie. If she can throw the outturn draw here, just get by the blue one. Actually, there's more room than I thought, and freeze right there. Kind of on the corner of that blue one. I think Sharon's going to have to come through a very narrow port with some speed and probably still going to give up a steal of one. Let's see if Susan can really dial in draw weight. She's been heavy on all of the draws and the guards. She's 6 feet faster than she's feeling.
It is. She's just been just that little bit heavy. It's worked out okay, but this is a fairly precise draw.
This one she can get away with a little bit heavy, but not a lot. This is running like it's hot again. Needs to get by this blue one.
Definitely needs to get by.
Oh, disaster.
Oh, no.
Nose hit for two.
Wow, what a change of events. This is not as easy as it looks, Brent. But you really just have to make contact with that first one.
It looks to me like the other turn would be easier.
That's what I was thinking.
More space.
You have to almost hit this on the broom side of the rock.
Right on the nose will do it. It doesn't have to move it very far, but that's not a comfortable looking shot for me personally, to throw it at that blue one. Easier line call coming into something rather than coming off of it, I've always found. See if Sharon can tie this game up. Kind of out of nowhere, a chance for two. It looked like a definite steal, and this is close. They got to sweep this. They think they've lost this.
Oh no. I got to get this by. And that will be a steal of one for Ontario. Big chance there. Kind of thrown away from Northwest Territories, and it will be a 3-point lead as we head to 6.
At every OK Tire store, you'll find a local owner who lives in your community, proudly offering full auto service. And when you shop with us, you're shopping local. OK Tire. Service, repair, and tires. It's going to be okay.
I love that curling is a team sport, that we're able to travel the world with friends and family and experience the journey with fans as well. The sport demands so much, whether it's fine motor skills or both physically and mentally taxing. And it's just a fun social sport that you're able to kind of make an extended family all over the world.
Everest is here to support you in the moments that matter. Learn how at everestfuneral.ca.
Welcome back to the action from the Everest Funeral Concierge Canadian Senior Curling Championships. I'm Brent Lang and joined by Jennifer Jones, and we are honored to be here, honored to be a part of the team bringing you the action from the Vernon Curling Club. And there has been a lot of action. An unforced error there on Sharon. A well-thrown stone. They just didn't sweep it early enough, didn't anticipate that curl, and as a result gave up a steal of one. So Ontario now leads 5-2, playing the 6th end, and Northwest Territories needs to make something happen here. Kelly Kalo needs to set up these guards for her team, give you somewhere to hide. Need to score a couple here, ideally. Cannot afford to give up any more steals.
No, they can't for sure. And they did have something going last end. They had an opportunity to get their 2 points and just a miscue from the skipper. Try to be patient. Just need your 2 points.
Julie being asked to basically duplicate her first shot, which was perfect. Julie played in this event, Jen, with Nova Scotia last year. Not sure how they pulled that off, but they did. This one's over curling a bit. Is this going to create a pocket if it's heavy? Looks like they like the speed. Nice pair from Julie McMullen. Professor McMullen, Western University. Sharon's going to play the hit here. Doesn't want to let things kind of pile up in the middle. Personally, I like to come around. I've seen it a lot this week where people throw a corner guard and then only ever deal with the rocks in the middle and never play a straight draw around the corner guard. This one's really got a curl to stick around, I think.
They do get a lot of late finish.
Do they ever? This is close. Sweep that.
Yeah,
sweep.
and there you go.
Hello.
Gotta roll it. What a shot.
Absolutely perfect.
That's
If
a
you
lot
knew
of weight
you're-
to play on that hit and roll. But they made
Right?
it perfect.
If you knew you were going to make it perfect, the hit and roll's way better than the draw. Susan just called this in the rings again. I might take a stab at chasing that blue one, just at least chip it out or chip the guard and roll in. Cannot remove that guard, but you can see a piece of it. That's becoming a very important shot at the highest levels of the game for the second, is the backline chase around the corner guard. This is exactly where Susan called it. So can they make that hit and roll again, Jen?
They could also roll away. Is that what she's calling? I believe so.
Looks like, oh, no, not if she's playing this
Sorry.
time. If you make the hit and roll, you might make the double too and lie two buried. That would be a really great start. Might be too good too early though. Ontario would start running that corner guard back. She made it again, almost. Over curled a little bit, but not a very easy double for Ontario.
No.
Just gonna hit and stay. And then Northwest Territories will have the chance to kind of split the rings or hit the open one and lie two. That was a little bit inside, I think, by Kristen. Really holding it though, some great sweep in. So now, do you hit the open one, Jen? Do you draw over to it? I think blue's shot, so you could just draw.
I think I would
this.
draw over to it. Yeah, I like this call. You might get a mistake if you could make a good freeze here. Way to generate your 3.
See if Marta can get this on the right line with the right speed. Want T-line weight here. Looks like the sweepers don't want to sweep it for speed. Not sure what they're sweeping this for. This needs to settle down for second shot.
Needs to stop fighting the 8-foot.
And perfect.
Yes. It listened, Brent.
Right?
A lot of times they don't listen, but that did.
That must be one of those female rocks that listens. The male rocks don't listen, right? Is that how that works?
I'm not even going to justify that with the
Or do I have that one backwards? I can never remember how that goes.
Not justifying.
For a second there, I thought Susan was going to call the double. That would have been difficult. I think you got to hit this and roll to the broom. If you nose it, will Northwest Territories play the freeze? I think probably. So a really good setup to this end halfway through for Northwest Territories, who needs to score multiple points here. This looks pretty good. I think you'd like to roll a little bit to the center. This one's rolling a lot to the center. Gonna stick for shot though, and a good shot. But will they freeze back there now? You can't just draw open. They're not shot rock, are they?
I don't think so.
Yellow shot.
I think you have to freeze to shot rock, no?
You gotta do something with shot rock. Yellow's definitely shot rock. I don't know if Sharon just didn't have a close look, or this is a bit of an error from Northwest Territories and just an oversight. It can happen. So need this to be corner frozen now. But I don't think she has the right line. Not going to curl enough. So maybe get it half around it for second shot. I'd sweep this a little bit. Sweep it. So pretty good, but you can see that the problem is that Ontario's just going to hit in lie 2 now.
That's the problem for sure, Brent. You've got that beautiful blue stone perfectly buried behind that guard.
Right, that's your second point. Unless Ontario continues to lie 2 somewhere else, but you may leave a double here. I don't think you want to roll this time if you're Ontario. Okay, so will NWT now make the hit and roll? I think they should. Yeah, that would be really good. So Cheryl with the intern hit and roll coming. Looks to be close.
It's almost a triple there, Brent.
Yeah, this one, that's what I was thinking as this one's wide. I
think you try to keep this straight.
I've overswept it for the triple, but stays for shot rock. Going to force Ontario to hit and stay again. Ontario may want to take this roll on now, but don't want to roll just to the broom and leave that double and roll away, but just important to hit and stay here. Force is on right now.
It most definitely is. This is really curling. I think they held it. Oh, just.
I don't know if that stayed. I don't think that second shot.
No, and now you have to chase shot rock here. I think they're just going to throw the draw. I think you could throw hack weight at that, Brent. It's half open.
You can definitely chase that. Maybe trying to make one in here and then hope for a little mistake and set up the 3. I don't know. I know it's a big shot though. Northwest Territories needs this one. You know, half bury it maybe and get a miss and then chase the back one. But if you're half buried, I guess you got to fully bury it to leave the back one accessible. I'm with you though, Jen. I like you could freeze on the back or you come down and bump it half a rock and lie 2. That's assuming that blue one is second shot, which is really important. Sweeping this one really from the get-go. Line is really good. I think I'd go as far as to say line is perfect.
They want it above the tee line, though. Oh, boy.
Pretty good shot. Now you can see Susan has to play the freeze, but what if she's a rock heavy and just bounces off? Sharon's going to look like a genius and have a nose double for 3. Good shot there. Put some pressure on Tara. And I think the blue one is third shot, rather, not second shot, but third shot. So Susan, who has been a little bit, had a case of the heavies today, see if she can come up big for her team when they really need it. A freeze here, even a little bump, Jen, and then might turn this into almost an automatic steal.
Yeah, that's the only problem with where Northwest Territories put that stone is, yes, it's a very good shot, but if this freeze is made, you'll have a tough time, depending on where it is, getting 2 or even scoring.
This one's got some curling to do. It's much wider than Sharon's, and I don't think it will finish as much as Sharon's. Just a little bit extra handle, but it's trying.
It's really trying, Brent. I think it's
great shot.
really good. So again, I don't know how the Territories get 2.
They don't. The only way is the feather tick off of the one behind the corner guard. Shoot her in to the one that Susan just threw. Slip double. That's the only way to make a deuce. I guess you could also almost run that corner guard through the hole, but the in off of the one biting the top 8 foot. Got to hit about an eighth of it, a quarter maybe. I think she sees it. No, I don't think she sees it now. I changed my mind. They're throwing this away, Jen.
Oh, you at least got to try that, don't you, Brent?
I don't think they see it. It's extremely difficult, but they are talking down there. Maybe Kelly sees it. Can they afford to go down 2 without the hammer playing 7? I mean, it's not game over, so I mean, they're just throwing this away. This is closer than I'd like to see it to the middle, but it is going to miss everything. So we're going to have a score of 1 by Northwest Territories here in the 6th end, and Ontario will take a 2-point lead and the hammer to 7 when we come back to the Everest Senior Curling Championships from Vernon, BC.
Curling means so much to our family. Obviously, it's a big part of our life. Isabella always says that she wants to be an Olympic champion curler when she grows up, which just melts my heart. But it also has shown them that if you work hard, anything is possible. If I was to ask them if they wanted to chase a dream, they believe that anything is possible as long as they put the work in, and it's because of watching us on the ice.
Everest is here to support you in the moments that matter. Learn how at everestfuneral.ca.
Welcome back to the Everest Senior Canadian Curling Championship. I'm Jennifer Jones, joined by Brent Lang, and we are in a tight battle here with Team Northwest Territories and Team Ontario. Must win for the Northwest Territories, but they are trailing 2 points without hammer here in the the seventh end. So time to steal if you're Northwest Territories. Take some chances, put up some guards.
Definitely time to steal. A quick update before we get right into the action here as the first few setup shots are thrown. British Columbia takes a big 3-ender on Nova Scotia and makes a 3-point lead there, heading to 6-5-2. Saskatchewan, Team Nancy Martin has blown the game open against Quebec, 6-1 now, a 3 and then a steal. And Quebec has been struggling in the championship pool. If they don't come back, that would be their third loss in a row here. They've been battling a couple of injuries as well, which is unfortunate. And then Alberta and Manitoba are tied at 2, playing 6. Manitoba with the hammer. So lots to be decided there. On the men's side, New Brunswick, they do come back here with 2 and then a steal of 2 to go up 5-2 on PEI, playing 6. BC 4-2 over Nova Scotia. Paul Fleming at 7-1 versus BC 6-2. And BC with a 2-point lead, playing 7. Saskatchewan, Bruce Corte and the boys are beating up on Quebec 6-1. And Dave Bomer in Manitoba, not BC, Dave Bomer from Manitoba is up 4-3 on Newfoundland and Labrador, playing the 6th end. Some tight games today, Jen.
Some really tight games, Brent, as we vie for those coveted playoff spots. Not many more games left before we determine the final 4.
I don't think there's any room for tiebreakers, so every win so important. Who you beat so important, because the first tiebreaker, if you are tied for a playoff spot, is the head-to-head. If there's a 3-way tie and you've all gone 1-1, beat each other, and it's unsolvable, they will go to the last stone draw, the old shootout, to get into the playoffs or knocked out of the playoffs for Canadian Championship.
There was some talk this week, Brent, that instead of having 2 draws, that you might have a draw and a hit and roll to the button.
I heard that, more of like a skills competition, and you know, it does make sense. I mean, we started with the draw to the button for hammer, and then it became a part of qualifying and almost like winning another game. So why just draw shots? Why not runbacks? Why not doubles? Why not hit and rolls? Why not taps? Who knows? There's no limit to what it can be here. Here's really the first big mistake we've seen from Julie McMullen. Throwing one.
I don't know. Did it go through? They're trying to decide.
It looks like it's still in play to me, but they're going to kick it, so I am wrong again. It's good to stay perfect. So like you said, Jen, it's steal time for the NWT. And they got the 2 guards up, so time to get one to the button buried. And then you'll see Ontario step up and try and make that double peel. I'll ask Kristen Turcotte to see if she can't hit about 2/3 of that and make the double peel and lose the shooter.
Big shot here, though. Need this on the button.
No line trouble.
This is your steal point. They got to get it by.
I think we're just light here. Line was really good. Get some separation. Can they get shot rock at least? They do get shot rock. Just a little light. I think it's an automatic call here. Might be able to make a triple here. Stay tuned.
Depends on how much weight you have.
This is close. I think it actually needs to curl a little bit. Good shot. Chipped it out of the way. It did need to curl a little bit more, but that's a fairly good result for Ontario. Opened up shot rock, opened up the intern side of the sheet.
Yeah, you need that guard. Surprised we're changing turns here, Brent.
Yeah. The ice has been very consistent side to side, but generally when you've thrown one shot and you definitely know what that does. There's no guessing, but could be a player preference here. Maybe Sharon really knows her team and knows that Marta really prefers the in-turn to the out-turn.
She had just thrown the out-turn come around on her first. That was all.
Yeah, I agree with you. And now we don't have the line here. Good speed, just not going to close the hole there. And will Ontario hit the middle one? I think she will, and try and roll away maybe. I don't know that I would nose that, Jen.
No, I don't think you want to nose it. You want to definitely roll.
You nose it, and then Northwest Territories makes a tap or something behind everything, or come around everything. And I know that it's there to use and you have a run back, but it would be better if it wasn't there and it was in the side 12 foot and you had the hole to come through. But we'll see. Maybe willing to take on a little risk here to potentially end the game in 7, knowing they're up 2. So if they gave up steal 1, a good shot. Exactly what they called. Sharon is going to hit this. Okay, I don't love this one, Jen. I like the in-turn come around. You?
Oh, for sure I do. You're down. Even forcing Ontario to 1 is really not great. You've got lots of guards, lots of action. In-turn or out-turn come around, really, Brent.
Yeah, sure.
Out-turn, you might be able to get it half around even the yellow one if you go deep enough.
Honestly, if I was going to hit something, I'd hit and roll on the back one. At least that gets me shot rock buried, but that wouldn't cross my mind either. This one's really curling, Jen. We got a problem here.
Yeah, I think they've got to just stop sweeping and have it hit and roll for a guard.
Oh, not going to happen. Going to make a double peel almost.
Yeah, and that's a big mistake.
Unfortunate. And big opportunity now if you're Ontario. Do you switch gears? Do you split that? Do you hit and roll on the corner guard? Do you draw the wing? Opportunity is knocking. Open the door, as they say.
So Susan's going to keep the pedal to the metal. And I think you're going to have to see Team Northwest Territories play that out-turn come around, or even the in-turn come around the Yellowstone to the back of the 4 foot. I think the time has passed for trying to hit their way out of this.
Tiptoe, Kristen tiptoeing beside it. Must think it's a little bit heavy. Needs to curl and stop. Grab some paint here. Sharon's going to get this one through, I think.
Yes, she does.
Just through.
This is curling too, Brent. I think they're going to take out their only guard and play.
And at least get the back one. Oh, boy. Dream situation now for Ontario. So sticking with the draw here, Jen, I thought they might hit that blue one, but doesn't, I mean, potato, doesn't really matter. Want to lie 3.
Yeah, I thought they might too. And this looks again heavy, Brent. Might come to that back yellow.
Sharon having a big sweeping game behind the tee line. That's close.
I still think she's got a draw, Brent. 2 is definitely no good for Northwest Territories.
So we're switching. She's going to hit the back one. I mean, it's time to push the chips in the middle, isn't it, Jen, and play the come around the middle. Try and get one in there. Back 4, back 8. You could get a sneaky steal out of this and keep this game alive. Hitting this one is exactly what Ontario wants you to do.
That is definitely what I would play, Brent, for sure.
Here it comes, though. Trying to hold this one straight. Close to getting the roll. Really close to getting the roll.
And it's just so tough. Not quite. And you're so close to being perfect.
But setting her up maybe for the next shot here, because Susan's got to hit and try and roll back to the broom, and then Sharon's hit and roll will be shorter. But I would really like to know who's third shot. Jen, pick one for me, please. Who you got? You love. I know you love this game.
I'm not playing.
Oh, man, really? Hard to tell.
I don't know. I think it's blue.
That overhead, I don't know if I was in the lounge too late or the overhead just went fuzzy, but it's really hard to see. So first things first, Susan wants to hit and stay. Does not want to roll behind that top 12 rock. She's not.
This looks like a lot of weight. I think it's going to be just fine, though.
It's perfect.
Yeah. So now what do you do?
Well, if you hit and roll on your first one, surely you're going to hit and roll on your second one. If you're going to play the draw, I think she would have played it on her first. So maybe she thinks she's second shot or third shot. But giving up 2 here, down 4, that's too many, I think. We'll see if Sharon, she was so close on her first one. The same roll as her first one would actually get buried this time because it is a shorter roll. Go to rock and a half shorter, so if she rolls that same amount, she would be dead buried. There will be a chase for 2 no matter where she rolls to here. If Susan wants to take it on, a backliner, maybe a chase for 3. Can't stop sweeping this one. Don't know that this is close, though. Just going to overroll, I think.
I think it's, now it's going to be a hit
roll
for
right
3,
out.
Brent, or a draw for 3. And I think that's going to be our game.
We will see. So they're drawing, which tells me I think they would play the hit if they were third shot, wouldn't they, Jen?
I would think so.
So a draw for, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is a draw for 3 and an 8-3 lead, and I would think handshakes, but I'm almost always wrong when I say people are going to quit. I got to reevaluate my life choices. It sounds like I'm a quitter. What kind of example am I setting for the kids? They're cleaning this one, hands in the air. 2 for sure. Kicked him quickly, so I don't know what's happening, but Ontario scored a couple. I don't hear any Velcro. There is some conversation, but
here we go.
Like that's what we're going to see the end. Big win for Ontario and Team Froud, and a tough loss for Northwest Territories, but that moves Team Froud 1 step closer to 7-2, and I think depending if Quebec loses, that gets Ontario into the playoffs. But we'll update you on the next draw. We'll be back in a couple of hours with some more action. Thanks for tuning in to the Everest Funeral Concierge Canadian Senior Curling Championships. Brent Lang and Jennifer Jones signing off until next draw.
See you soon.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.